Ascension. Opeyemi Alabi is a keynote speaker. He has done a lot in the private sector. Recently, he was supposed to contest for the House of Reps, but he refused. And you know, somebody once said to me that it's so unfortunate why in Nigeria we let the worst people go to power. When instead, when the best brains are supposed to be the ones contesting for elected positions. So we any little thing will just back out. So my guy himself just say he's not contesting again. I was surprised. But he's doing well so far. Like I said, I just gave you a brief of his exploit in Jumia. And without mistaking, even Satan is fully aware that Jumia is one of the biggest companies in the world today. Jumia, Uber, and the rest. He's a sales expert, a management consultant. He has a lot of experience. He's a chairman, my chairman. He meets a lot with the political class. So I will, in these few minutes, we will be very, very privileged to welcome my brother Opeyemi Alabi to the Micro Mentoring Club.
Mr. Melvin, for the embellished welcome. But I want one more thing to that. My name is Opeyemi Alabi. I'm a management consultant by profession and I'm a sales expert. Just that simple. So here to share life experience, do you understand that? Just also to entertain questions, because you never can tell where the next $1 billion idea will come from. So that is why I'm here. How are you guys doing? You guys are looking really good. You don't look like the Tinubu Buhari Atiku kind of tussle that is going on. Everybody is doing great. So I'm just going to talk about, first of all, information. Life is all about information. A lot of people here already have what they need to thrive, what they need to go to the next level. So the question should be, why have I not launched? And that's one thing I've noticed about us in Africa. We just like to, we're like a sponge. We soak in information here and there, but at the end of the day, what are we doing with it? Because most informations are sometimes regurgitations and recycled informations. Most of you know all what I'm about to say. You've either heard it before from somebody or in another manner. So the question now would be, if I really want to go to the next level of my existence, my life, what is stopping me? And that is why I normally say beware of motivational speakers. I'm not here to motivate anybody, because motivational speakers can even motivate you to die. They could tell you that's the right thing to do, and that's why, how do you think people get people to stretch bombs to their own chest, where willingly to go to the next side and chill with 7 virgins? So they won't ask the question that, why are you not the one carrying it? Why me? Because somebody motivated them against their own consciousness. So I'm more of an activation. Activation meaning that the right information to drive out the right questions. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? Like to spark something inside of you that's probably dormant, dead, but you never knew it was there. Be like, oh, okay, this is right. Okay, and what can I do? Some people complain a lot about the problem they were born to solve. Do you understand? You were born to solve this thing, but yet you keep complaining because we have a culture of complaints in Nigeria. We speak so much grammar. And eloquence and grammar doesn't mean intelligence. It just means you can speak well. Because I could also be speaking Yoruba as a language, and I could be very eloquent in it. That doesn't mean I'm intelligent. It just means I can speak well. I could speak French, and it just means I can speak French very well. It doesn't mean really that I have what it takes to solve the problem. So the question now is, with the information I'm about to get, what am I going to do with it? Am I just going to have this in my bank of information and intimidate people while having discourse and dialogues with them, but at the end of the day, not taking it to the next level? Knowledge not applied is useless. So I'm going to talk about being a well-rounded individual in the modern times we live in. Being a well-rounded individual in modern times. You would agree with me that Nigeria is not a contemporary society, because if it were, the princes would not be walking barefooted and slaves will be riding horses. Yeah. So the question now is, how do I thrive in such an environment where principles of macro and microeconomics does not really apply to success in business? When you cannot change the rules, you must play to win. If you are in a game of football right now, you don't complain that what is offside, I can stand anywhere I am. As long as you are in that game, you are controlled by the rules, whether you like it or not. So it's either you exit the game, you do not play anymore, probably by traveling somewhere else or exiting the world. I don't really advise anybody to do so. But as long as you are within the context of a country that up is down and down is up, and there's a lot of ambiguity in terms of right or wrong, then how do I get what I need to get, and how do I not compromise my values? These two things are very important. Like I said, I'm going to ask questions. I'm not here to motivate anybody. I don't know you. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do with your life. I do not really care. I'm just here to speak to adults that I believe that, oh, these guys want to take it to the next level. If I ask you a question and I say, maybe you're coming, maybe this is your office, you're coming in, you just see 2 Bentleys and 1 Ferrari parked, what will go through your mind? Rather than that is smiling. Like, what are the few tips that just comes and say, who can this person be in terms of vocation or personality or their class or what they do for a living? Will you say, which school did they go to? You would rather think it's either a young boy, a politician, or a drug dealer. So if we can associate success to things that have connotations mean negative imprints. Are we now telling ourselves that doing the right thing doesn't pay? Because if you are coming up, the first will be like, which young boy, ritualist, politician, or which celeb get this kind right for you. It won't be like which professor or which school did this person going to OEF or Covenant University. No. So why is it so that the worst of the crop are the one enjoying the benefits? Some people can never be back, no matter what. Do you understand? That is who they are. You can't walk against the fabrics of your DNA. So why will I bother myself about a situation like that when I can't do something about it? So maybe when I become a rep or a senator or a president, God willing, then I would like to hear such stories, because the governor of that state will have to answer to it. So evil information is constantly going around us. Now, some people think evil communication is until you speak to somebody else. No. So many, I counsel marriages too as well. I used to have a show on Classic FM where mature couples calling will have conversations. People's marriages are ended because of this you are looking at. Oh, somebody read something online that is not about their own marriage. They imbibe that information and they use it against their spouse. That is not even acting a certain way. Oh, that's what they said, that when your phone has password now, and you know you are with them, and that's how you do. Like, where is this coming from? So, this can be an avenue of evil communication to you if you do not filter and regulate what goes into your mind. And then, we're talking about still on the mind. The mind also shows you what to see in every situation. And that's why they said, some people will say the cup is glass full, glass is half full, some half empty. The opportunity to say, while you are debating if it's half full, I've done the what? I don't care. Do you understand? So it's all about perspective. And people's truth are about their perspective and their history. For example now, let me say, maybe I have a USB cord here. To me, it's a USB cord. Because I don't have any other history to it than just to use it to charge my phone. But to somebody else, it may be the wrath of God, because it might be that USB cord that his father used to beat him when he was young. So he has an history towards that. And that is what informs how erratic some people behave that you can never understand unless they open up to you. Because what informs people's truth, which is their ideology about situations of life, is their perspective, the way they see it, and their history about similar situations. So perspective is what I'm going to talk about right now. Your perspective is your filter. What your mind tells your eyes to see, irregardless of what is there. What your mind tells your eyes to see and notice, irregardless of what is there. There have been so many social experiments where 2 individuals were picked to enter the same room, and they came out and they described 2 different things from the same room. It's all about perspective. And I'm going to narrow that down to life in general. If you go on a website like Jumia, for example, and maybe you're shopping for a phone, and your budget for the phone is like 50K. To make the search okay for yourself, you put phone, because there are several categories on that virtual market. And to make it more conducive for you, you put filter price, 50K or less. Which means when you run the search, what it will give you will not be more than 50K. Your filter has reduced your options. So, but if I enter the same market and I don't have a limitation of 50K, And I'm like this fine young man that has money. I say, okay, let me start with 1 million. I need to buy it for one of my babes. And I just run a random search. It will give me iPhone 14, 15 Pro. So when they now ask me that, what was your user experience on that, I will say, oh, it has a whole lot of options. And if they ask the person that narrowed it down to 50K, will tell me that I'm only seeing techno. It's not the market that is the problem, it is your perspective, it's your filter. And that is why some women keep seeing scum because they say men are scum. Your filter keeps making you to filter the scum out of the good men. And if you think women too are gold diggers, you will continue to meet them, my brother, everywhere you go. In church, in class, in the office, even in your dreams.
Sure.
Because your filter has already set it that way that every woman you meet must fit a particular category.
Absolutely correct.
Am I teaching now?
Yes.
So it's all about the information. So you must look at your mind and say, number one, what is success to me? And what do I even want to achieve? Because success to a lot of people means different things. And don't extrapolate your own definition of success to another person. And that is the problem of the day, where millennials and Gen Zs who have never seen anything in their lives, who have never witnessed war or famine or death, will come and say, oh, because you don't think like this, your father is a madman. Because you don't see the world the way I do. You see it on comments all the time on social media, where people will be fighting over meaningless situations that they have no control over. Because they don't see things the same way. We are not meant to see things the same way. God didn't create us as zombies. Am I teaching?
Yes, sir.
We must have diverse perspectives to life. And the wise person is the one that can bring all the perspectives to get the total picture. And not saying, oh, if I'm asked to describe this office from this room, what I will describe is what I can see. If somebody is asked to describe it from outside, what they can describe is what they can see. So instead of us arguing, my God is like this, my God is like that, no. The wise person be like, okay, come. From which angle are you looking at it from? And from which angle? So that you can get the total picture. So what I will tell you today is, know what your filter is. Ask yourself questions. What do you want out of your career? What do you want out of your marriage or your relationships? What do you want out of your spirituality? What do I want? Because that exactly answers the filter. Because that informs what you are going to be looking for. When I came to this town, I was in Diamond Bank before I went to Junior as a telemarketer. Then when I was doing really good in telemarketing, they put me in corporate sales. I did really good in corporate sales, delivered KPMG, Deloitte, and a whole lot of other companies. They said, okay, why don't you go to Abuja and let's try it out? You be the guinea pig, you be the lab rat. We're not going to give you anything. Just go with a backpack on your back. No office, no car, nothing, just a bump in salary. Let's go and see how it's going to work. I told my uncle who retired from Chevron as the CFO, he said, told me, Opeyemi, this is a setup for failure. I knew this because when I got into the company, I'm not a man that, number one, I take my life very seriously. And then I'm not a man you can just, I don't know how to put it, even if you are my boss, let's talk about the situation of the job. If you cross the personal line, you are going to see it or hear it from me. I don't care. So they saw that there's a level of what they term as arrogance, like who is this guy? You just came in and you are trying to show, who the hell are you? So I knew that there was a conspiracy to get me out of the way. So they disguised it as promotion and said, guy, go to Abuja. Who goes to a town they don't know without anywhere we thought, without any contact, and they said, go and make a success story out of it. I said, no problem, I'm going to take it on as a challenge. I came, I started crouching on a friend's couch in Lube. I was like, Opeyemi, now you are here. God will not bring your way what you cannot handle. What are you going to do about this? So I tried to apply Lagos principles to Abuja market. I did research online, looked at the NGOs company, started making calls to them. They would tell me I should come and submit physical letter. I'll be like, why? This is 2018. Why do I have to submit a physical letter when I can just shoot you an email? And if you're okay with my proposal, let's have a conversation. So I said, okay, this is the Abuja way, no problem. Let me start printing. So I will print, I will submit. They say, oh, okay, come back next week Tuesday and follow up. I said, oh my God, why are you this backward? I'm offering you an advantage to save costs on running your business, and you are treating me, okay, no problem, that's the way. So I started doing it that way. And I got to a level, then after I have to be bidding for those contracts. That if I want that business, I have to bid, so I have to submit my company. This was very new to me. In Lagos, you just shoot mails, they look at it and everything, they're okay with it, they start using you. Because those guys are tech savvy, they are looking for the best way to do things, not the convenient or expedient way. So Abuja showed me another type of business entirely, and I applied myself to it. And it now got to a point, they told me that, okay, we can't just, oh, you look good, you sound well, but we can't just take your business on word of mouth. Where is your office? And I told you guys I wasn't given an office, nor a budget for it. I was like, wow, this is a great one. And that was in the United Nations International Organization for Migration, if I can remember correctly. They said, we like your proposal, we're going to give you a business of 25-30 million monthly. But then we indemnify us, we need to see your office. So I called my boss in Lagos, madam, this is what we have. I said, oh, I don't want to hear anything, we don't have budget for that. What? I was like, my God. And that is another thing when you have people working against you in your team. And worse, they are your boss. They don't care whether you succeed or not. And that's what happens when it's not your personal, because if it was a personal business, you would do what was necessary. So I looked at myself, I said, what can I do then? I need an office, I don't have a budget. Then it occurred to me that we had a program called the J-Force program, where we train people on travel bookings, and when they do bookings, they earn a commission. I was like, why don't I modify this product and meet people that have huge offices in Abuja and see if they could give me a space, and then each booking made on their premises, they will get a commission. So I looked at H-Medics, I looked at SPA, they told me SPA was in Lagos, the headquarters was there. I said, okay, no problem, H-Medics is local, let me go and meet H-Medics. It took me like 2 weeks to meet the guy of H-Medics, we have a conversation. I was like, oh, it sounds good to me, why don't you go and meet my Lebanese that run, what's their name again, this Cherry's hypermarket, that run my supermarket branch, and let's see if they could do it with you. So I met those guys. Sharp guys, two, Mazin and Mohammed, we had a conversation. They said, okay, it sounds good to us. We'll give you a space in area 11, H1X in area 11. Have a space there, brand it, as long as you're making bookings. And Jumia is a brand name, now so many people see Jumia, they will be inquisitive, they will come in and buy something. Oh yeah, no, it's a win-win-win. So that was how I was able to navigate the inconvenience of having an office. I could have well said that, my filter could have been, if you don't give me necessary tools, what will I do now? I will kill myself. That would be the response of most people. But I thought about it and said, there's always, like my dad would always tell me, there's always an answer to every question. You might not just be asking in the right way, or you might be asking the wrong person. I knew that question had an answer, but I just needed to search for it, and I got it. And after that, I needed to now staff 2 people. So at the end of it, I'm going somewhere with this staffing. I picked up a girl that is really, really bright. She's still in Jumia till date. The best staff they have up till now. And it's a success story for me because she reaches out most of the time. I said, no, I mean, you're a champ. It's not, I'm happy for you. And it's not coming as a surprise because when I picked you, I knew who I was picking. So I picked 2 guys, one girl and one guy that was able to land on their feet running. And we started the business in Abuja. And I rose that business from 0 naira on a retail booking, 0 naira per month to an average of 8 million naira per month. In that H-Medics you are looking at in area 11. I created something out of nothing. And on B2B, which is business to business, organizations and all that, I was averaging close to more than 20,000 euros per month in Abuja. In a place where they sent me to go and die. So it's all about your filter. I knew that I won't say I've not had bouts of failure in my life, but if you want to bring out the best in me, give me a challenging situation, I will never back down, even if it's a game I'm playing. Oh no, we go die there. That's it. Or I would want to look, if I can't find a way, I will employ people, I will come let me check this matter. I won't leave that matter until I can find something tangible out of it. So what I'm trying to say is your filter matters a lot. I could have said everything is against me. I don't know anybody in this town. Abuja is a town of connections, which brought me to connect to most of the politicians I know today. Before I came here, I was with this chairman of Taraba State. We were talking about his oncoming conversion and all that. I met these guys on the platform of value.
Very good.
Which brings me to the next point. We're talking about mind, right?
Yeah.
The next one is what value do you bring to the market? This life is a huge marketplace. That's exactly what we are doing here. We're buying and selling, whether you like it or not. Before your wife married you, she bought into you first and your dreams and your swags. And before you married her, you bought into whatever you saw.
Yeah.
And whatever you heard, and whatever it is your filter was for a woman. So life is a marketplace. So if I don't have anything to benefit from you, then I'm not going to deal with you. And whatever I choose to give you, beggars have no choice, you collect or you move out. So most of the guys I know today, a lot of them, even to presidency. I met them on the basis of value. Like, this is what I offer. There was a man I met in my court when I was still in July. I told him, "Okay, you don't look like a traveler." I said, "I'm not a travel agent." The big boy selling tickets for him. He laughed. He never forgot that statement. And that man now is commissioner for INEC in Bayelsa State. We're still close. So, some of you guys look down on the value God has given to you. You want to be like other people. I met one guy to Wale Sapphire Sense. He said what he has is nose to smell perfumes. And he started selling it.
He said this last week.
And there are so many gems I'm going to drop for you guys. Like I said, I'm not here to motivate anybody. I'm here to drop real life lessons that I've employed and I'm still employing. It's okay for me. Approach every table with value. Don't go to people and say, help me. People think value is money because we're impoverished in Africa. They are impoverished, we are not. Value is not money. Money is a means of trading. Value is inherent. You don't need to have all the money in the world to be valuable to somebody. Your presence could be valuable. I have some guys that if I want to catch group, I call them. The way that they talk, so they will just laugh. You see that entertainment. People built a billion naira industry on entertainment of making people laugh.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know that his skill, his personality, his charisma could be sold. But to me, it's valuable to me. So how far now? You don't come hospital because he's a doctor. He comes, makes everybody laugh. Married guy, cool guy. So to me, he has a lot of value more than humor for me. Anyways, he's a business contact. But I'm saying that value is not always money. If I want to approach Mevon now, maybe we're doing business together, I look at it and say, what will Mevon benefit from dealing with me? First, before I approach him. Because that gives me an advantage when I'm talking to him. I'm not just going to meet him and say, use your contact for me now. Maybe we are guys. We'll be like, okay. But then, I'm not doing charity for that. This place is not paying his own bills. So, what will Mevon benefit by dealing with me on this proposal? And some people, when you're approaching rich men, except they are greedy, they are surrounded by money, they are not faced by it anymore. So you must look for what makes them tick. You must look for what makes them tick. So before you approach anybody, do your research. What value does this person going to get benefit from me approaching him on this level? What am I willing to do as an act of service? Put down your ego. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you went to school, I don't care where your father is. As long as we are in this marketplace of a world, what I'm looking at is value. If you have no value, I don't care how much you have. You don't feel me. What value do you bring to me? What value do I bring to you? That's why life audit is very important. A lot of you people to here need to carry out a life audit. What's a life audit? You need to take a look at yourself in the past 3 months. How productive have I been? Who came into my life in the past 3 months that catalyzed my production to the high level or reduced it? Because if you don't do all these things, you won't know where your bowl is leaking. You just realize that you are depleting, as in you are devolving, and you won't know. You think they are witches. No. It may just be a presence of somebody in your life that's giving you evil information, that's giving you bad energy, because bad energy is extremely communicable. So you look at your life and say, life audit or 3 months, who is the new person? What's the new information? What podcast did I listen to? What is going on with my life? Am I increasing? Which area am I increasing? Am I decreasing? Which area am I decreasing? Why am I decreasing? Why am I increasing? Let me give you a practical example. I took my phone. I buy a data of 50 gig every month, but then it lasts for 2 weeks. So I'm wondering that why do I buy the data of 50 gig? And it lasts for 2 weeks, and I took a look at it. I was thinking maybe it's my YouTube, or when I connect to my laptop to work. I now realized that what saps my data the most was Instagram. I was shocked. Because when you go to your apps, it will show, it will grade them by data usage. I was like, oh my God, I felt it was YouTube. Because I watch a lot of tutorials, I watch a lot of things and all that. Not knowing that it was even Instagram that is just pictures that are there. So until you carry out a life audit, you may be trying to plug the wrong hole. Am I teaching?
Yes.
You need to carry out a life audit. What value? Let me tell you something today. Life is deep. When somebody comes into your life, if they are not adding to it, they are taking from you. There are no two ways. they are not in between. If they are not benefiting you, they are taking from you. You may not just feel it at the moment. They may be the extra baggage. So if you want to engage somebody, why should you? What value is the person bringing? What value are you giving to the person? And some of you don't even have much weight to even carry somebody else. So you may be as a result of all the debt weight you are carrying that is limiting your destiny. Is this where I want to be? Who came into my life in the past 3 months? What habits have I developed in the past 3 months? How am I benefiting from this thing? Because life is time is the umpire of life. Time is the referee of life. It can blow the whistle anytime for anybody and say, your time is up, get out. Get out of the game. So we don't have much time here. And for people like us that are between the age of 35 to 50, you're already middle-aged. Forget that you're wearing pencil jeans.
Sure.
You're already middle-aged. And something about social media is it gives you a placebo. It makes you feel like everything is okay. Before you know it, you clock 50 and you have nothing to show for it. Life is intentional. Life is what you make of it. Ask yourself, where I'm working today, if it closes up, what will I do? Because Junior Travel closed up. And then in the 3rd month of Junior Travel closing up, I made a deal that gave me 10 times of my monthly salary in Junior Travel on one deal through the contacts I've made. So if my value was in a job, then I would have left Abuja and said I don't have anything to do. I moved from a smaller apartment to a bigger apartment in Wuse. Now I'm on my own building constructing. So this is not to tell you, hey, this is what I'm doing. No, it's just to let you know that your value is not in a job, it's in you. It's not the position, it's the man. So ask yourself, if this job is not existent anymore, what am I going to do? What? You have to reflect. People always go to church to pacification. Don't worry, destiny helper is coming. If you can sow this seed and pray this prayer. That's why one man, he was working one day. Somebody just looked at him and gave me $1 billion. What are you talking about here? Pay your tithe and touch my shoe. Let me pray for you. We do that all the time. It becomes a vicious circle of nothingness. So don't lie to yourself. You can't deceive the world, you can't deceive your own self. Your age is going. Yeah? Find one so I can only take you so far. These are not currencies in life. You won't go to bank and say, I also give me money. What am I going to do if I don't have this job anymore? What do I have to take to the market? Like I said, being a self-contained unit as an individual will take you far. Anywhere you get to, you will thrive. There are some guys I know today that if they throw them in Venezuela and if I'm hearing their name the next 2 years, I'll be like, oh, I expected that from you. I know who this guy is. So your values sometimes it's not in your environment, it's in you. It's in what you bring to the market. So when you carry out your life audit, you get rid of all the dead weights. Your dead weight might even be your own blood. Am I teaching?
Yes, talk to me.
It's surreal, it's painful, but it's true. Life is not fair.
True.
It might be. So when you get rid of the dead weight and you look at yourself and say, and some of you may carry out the audit and realize that you are even the dead weight on your own self by your habits.
Mind the things you don't need.
Oh yes, and even incur debt on the things that you start adding salary up. Before you know, your salary can never meet up to anything. Live within your means. Oh, appear well optics is everything in life, but live within your means and use what you have to get what you want as a leverage. You really are. Some people are pieces of shit. Some people are valued one they don't even know. Some people have pieces of shit on gold. They don't even know gold is on that. So, like I said, you can lie to everybody, you can lie to yourself. So you look at it and say, okay, this is your life ordinary gives you your starting point. This is who I am. This is what I have as an advantage. Where am I going to start from? Because it becomes useless day in, day out when we go to different seminars to acquire all this knowledge. At the end of the day, life never changes. There's no miracle. There's nobody that will touch you and your life will transform. It doesn't work that way. Heaven help those who help themselves. Am I teaching? Heaven help those who what? Those who help themselves. It's in the parable of the talents. that Jesus Christ himself gave. He said, a man was traveling and he gave his servants talents, trade with it. And when he came back, the one said, I know you are an unscrupulous man that likes to reap where he did not sow. And what was the detriment of that? They cast him into the abyss. And they took what was his and gave it to another person. That is how life is. If in spirituality, productivity is expected, how much more in the world of man? How much more in the world of very, very selfish human beings that won't engage if they don't have anything to gain?
Wow.
If God expects productivity from you, I've given you this beauty, I've given you this intelligence, what are you using? What are you doing with it? That's the blessing I've given you. The blessing of God maketh rich. That blessing is the gift God has given to you. And that blessing is what takes you in front of great men and kings and not mere men. A man's gift maketh way for him. You don't necessarily have to sing to know you have a gift. Some people, your charisma, your personality is your gift. I've seen people get contracts in this Abuja because I'm a guy, a confirmed guy with that guy. I like him, give that guy a confirmed guy. What makes him confirm? Baba, na confirm. What makes him confirm? Not what you can't say these are intangibles. Yeah. He has a good aura, he has a good charisma, he has a good personality. And he has a trustworthy face. Some people will be like, I entered the office of a man, he gave me 10 million, I said, go and run this business. I said, it's a senator. I said, when I now called him later, we became friends. I said, why did you give me that money? You don't even know my house. I said, okay, when you enter my bed, you have a trusting face. I said, oh, we do business by face now. What if I took off with your money? He said, well, 10 million to me is like 1 naira, but you've destroyed your own self. Because when I see you next time, and I will see because Abuja is small, I will deal with you. Then I calm down. So
people always inquire.
Oh yes.
They must always inquire to do anything for anybody.
Oh yeah. It was a good stuff that came up. I was like, that one on my Mevon confirm.
Wow.
Now, do I know what Mevon says behind me? I don't care. As long as it's with me, I have good vibes. Whatever you say behind me is your cup of tea. True. It doesn't pay my bills. True. So Mevon confirm.
People always inquire. That's what
like, wow, this is how small this town is.
Wow.
This is how small this world is. So you must look at yourself and say, okay, what value do I bring? What do I have as an advantage? Like I said, it's not the position, it's the man. Sometimes your value is your mouth. So people can sell eyes to Eskimos and they don't even use it. The first interview I was went to in African Alliance in Ilupeju, Lagos. That time I was still looking for a job then. So when I got there, the man came in and said, how many of you guys have 2 to 3 girlfriends? He now pointed to me and I said, I know you guys, and we just laughed. He was trying to make a joke. He said, if you as a man can walk across the street, a girl that knows you from nowhere, she doesn't know if you are a demon or not, you talk to her, you get a number, you convince her to be your girlfriend, or you are good with sales. Some of you will even convince her to leave her husband or her man and follow you. That's how good you are with sales. You can sell yourself to a degree that somebody will abandon what they are doing and be your disciple. So why are you not using it to your advantage? Why are you using it just to get into hands of women? That thing stuck with me. I'm talking about this was like 15 years ago. It stuck with me till date. So some guys have everything they need in this world to succeed, but they're not just using it. If you are fine, why are you fine in the first place? Beauty is currency.
100%.
You be fresh guy, waiting you to use them. No, for real, waiting you to use your fresh guy. Oh, package on a suit. How much that thing they put for your pocket? It's an advantage, don't you understand? It's an edge.
Sure.
When beautiful people and well put together people enter a place, they are first noticed. What are you telling me? So what is all this giving to you? If it's not your head, no correct. You must go and recorrect that head and say this thing must be a vehicle of purpose. Am I teaching?
Yes.
Because not everybody has beauty, not everybody has confidence, not everybody has charisma, not everybody has good statures. Of course, it can be built anyways. For men, even if you are short like this, you can. Have you seen Inyanya before? Short rat. If you see him gallant wear, guy, you doing now. And so they do the form. So beauty, composure, and all that could also be an advantage to you. When people see beautiful people, it elevates. Even me, when I see both beautiful men and beautiful women, it gives me good vibes.
Me too.
I want them to be around me.
I don't like it.
Another secret is this. Ugly people have nothing to lose, so don't deal with them. They will bring you down to their level. Either ugly in character or ugly in face. They have nothing to lose now. You dey follow pig for account, wetin you dey worry? As in, they have nothing to lose. Oh, we could do business or that. You know, that's it.
Maybe if you want to start a security company.
Thank you. To scare away the evil forces, we can employ them. So, the point is this. Whether you like it or not, there's an aura around everybody. So what are you doing with your beauty as a human being, as a man or as a woman? How are you projecting it? You can use your beauty for the kingdom of God. You can use your beauty. You must use your beauty for yourself, not to be sleeping with men or women, but to give you an extra edge wherever you get to. So, moving away from this, and going to my third point is that you could have all this knowledge right now and start applying it and yet still not see results. It is possible. Yoruba, I don't know which Yoruba is it. Do you understand? Owe, you are Yoruba. From which state? Ogun State. So, you may have all this knowledge. You may, oh, this is what I have as an advantage. This is my market. I'm going to go to market for you because market is the people you know. So this is my market. These are my contacts. But why am I still not getting those results? Two things. Number one, don't play with spirituality. Except God builds your house, the labor and liberate in vain. That's the unseen factor around you. As an adult, please, I beg you to, I implore you, don't play with your level of spirituality. Grace and favor is not seen, but it's felt. Am I teaching now? Grace and favor are not seen, but their impacts are around a man. When you see somebody that God has mercy on, you will know. So, the race is never to the swift, the battle is never to the strong. Time and chance. Who is the controller of time and chance? The Most High. He creates time for you and then he brings you into people that are willing to help and assist. Am I teaching?
Yes.
So don't play with your spirituality at all. At all. I'm a Christian. Is everybody here a Christian?
Yes.
One factor.
They know themselves. We are not sure.
There's an invincible compass around the man that compels them to go the right way or the wrong way. He said, in all your ways, acknowledge me.
Sure.
Respect me. Call me the Godfather, I will direct your path. Sometimes your destiny helper is in the next office and you don't know until God opens the eyes of that person. So, spirituality, which is a level of consciousness of relationship with the Most High. I'm not preaching church here because on the judgment day they will ask you, did you go to Posa, did you go to the Father? It's you. What did you do?
Sure.
Answer for yourself.
Sure.
Churches are brackets that to me, it doesn't make any sense to me. I won't say you should not attend a church. What we even have today, in the concept, I don't want to go to spiritual, but we have organized religious bodies, we don't have churches. A church is a body, it's not a structure.
Yeah. It's without walls.
Exactly. So if you decide to congregate in a place, oh well, and we'll make it conducive, but that's not the church. The church is the connection spiritually. So please don't play with your spirituality. It's important. And then another factor that could be a limiting factor to the works of your hands is your relationship, the company you keep. I told you I will refer to the Bible because that's my compass. People they have are people that draw graph all the time. I said, well, the problem you guys have in your company is that you employ brilliant people. Now, let me break down 3 tiers of intelligence to you. My own definition. We have brilliant people. Brilliant people are people that are extremely good and meticulous with facts and figures. And they have a very sharp memory. So you give them, you put them in accounting section, you put them in IT, you put them in places that you need extreme meticulousness. You put them in finance, you put them in law, so that they can read fine print of a contract before you sign it. That is their field. And some of them, sometimes they are geeks, they don't even care about fashion, their mind is all about figures and facts. Then we have smart people. If your team must succeed, you must have smart people. Smart people are people that can connect the dots fast. You tell them A, they don't carry and both Z. Because they just know the next things to do. They know how to quickly move. Okay, the brilliant people gives them the information, their brain interprets the information. It's just like biology. We have genotype and phenotype. Phenotype is an expression of your genes. So the smart people can easily pick those information, connect them, and build a mental picture and say, this is what we need to do. They are fast, they are smart, they are sharp, they are competent. And then we have wise people. If you must lead a team or have a leader in your team, you must be a wise man. A wise man is an innovative person. They have an ability to conceptualize what is not here. And that is why when they are faced with every problem, they just have something to say about it. If a brilliant man gets stuck in a problem, which is beyond his textbooks in Harvard, he will be stuck. Because all his mind can process are those things that have been taught to him. He can't innovate. Innovation is not what you learn. It's a gift from God. It's either you have it or you do not.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary, the guy, the owner of Shark Tank, I don't know if you know Kevin. Kevin was talking, he's a very successful business entrepreneur. He said he was an intern under Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs told him one thing one day and said, why are you bothering yourself with data and research? That people will buy what I want them to buy. That they don't even know what they want to buy until I tell them. And I said, will you arrogant son of a bitch? That's an innovative mind talking. I heard something about Steve Jobs. They said he gets the idea. He doesn't know how to do it. He gives it to his team. He said, get it from me. You say you can't do it, he sacks you immediately. There's no impossibility in life. And he gets things done that way. So for you to be a leader, you must be innovative because you will be faced with problems that are beyond your textbook. And innovation is a skill that interacts with problems and brings out solutions. And brings out ideas of what you can do. So your leader of a team must be a wise man. And he must be a long-term thinker. Play the long game. So it's the person that has the mental plan, then he can appropriate the smart person. Because something about smart people is this. They are very quick to action, but they burn out easily.
Yeah.
Am I teaching?
Yes.
I've managed a team if I know what I'm saying. They burn out easily. Because when they are now confronted with a situation that they can't move forward, they become frustrated. Because they are made to be productive. That's how God made them. So when they are not moving forward, they get angry. But a wise man will tell them that calm down. Sometimes the solution is not what you are looking at. Try it this way. And it works. That's why you need a leader who can forecast, who can say, let me appropriate my brilliant people, let me appropriate my smart people. And Adama was like, oh my God, Opeyemi, we don't have a leader in the team. Yet. She just saw the problem right there. That what we have are extremely brilliant people that are good with data analytics and they are good with graphs and figures, but at the end of the day, no solution. Because business, when you break it down to the minutest level, it's human relationship.
Yeah. PR.
Oh yes. People must like you to buy your product at a certain degree. People don't buy product, they buy you.
They buy you. Yeah.
So I broke it down for her that she was like, wow, I know what to do now. So, as I was saying, not to lose my train of thought, is your association. That's why the Bible said, he who walks with the wise. So when you do an audit, you may realize that, what kind of friends do I even have? So, who are my people? I'm even. If the height of the conversation of you and your friends, your so-called friends, that is Richard and this video of the video, you have to come the video which passed me. If that is the height of what you discuss, I'm not saying you can't discuss that, but if that is the peak, the zenith,
you're already close to destruction.
you need to be like, okay, you know what? Because like I said, your life is literally in your hands. So God said, I place before you life or death is your choice. And you need a team to succeed. Nobody does it alone. That's why I hate the term self-made man. It's insane.
Never existed.
How can you say you are a self-made man when you needed a team? Let's even say you don't need a team. You were the one that conceptualized the idea. You did everything yourself, but were you the one that bought your own market?
Even Jesus.
Now you buy them.
Even Jesus.
You don't need buyers to buy you.
Yes.
So how can you be self-made if somebody gave you money to buy your product? You need people. I hate arrogance, particularly coming from places that you should not.
Yeah.
It's insane. You need people to succeed. He said you need to find favor in the sight of God and man. You are in the world of man. God will not appear and say this is your next destiny. Is a man is going to communicate it to and say, help this person.
So one with God is majority is a foolish statement.
You need people.
So one with God is majority.
You need people, you need contact, and I'm going to break it down to you how you're going to get these guys.
Yes.
Because there's something I call circle of influence. You may want to put this down. Circle of influence. We are still in association, right? Circle of influence. A lot of us have been burnt by friends in the past, telling our secrets. I'm very sure if I interview everybody now, the majority will have bad tales about what friends have done to them. We loosely use the term friends and it's not good. The fact that I'm civil, civility is not morality. I can be civil, I want to kill and kill you. What was the Trojan horse? The guy carried gifts, go meet the king, say, we are at war, but we are surrendering. They read Troy. There's nothing like Troy till date because of the Trojan horse. Civility is not morality. The fact that somebody is civil to you doesn't mean they like you. You don't know people's mind. The Bible said the heart of man is desperately wicked. So, because somebody has good vibes, you are chatting, you are laughing, you think that person is a friend? Think again. For you to say somebody is a friend, indeed, that person, you and that person must have cohabited. I'm not saying cohabited physically. You might have been in touch for close to 5 to 10 years. And you would know that these people are emotionally linked. And if anything bad happens to you, that person would not, their life would never be the same. And likewise you. So as a result of that mental and emotional trauma, by the synergy between you and that person, they will want the best for you. Am I teaching?
Sure.
And for us in this life, some people don't even have the luck of friends. So some people in this life, you may only have one friend till you die. And God help you, maybe that friend is your spouse. Some of us, our siblings are not even our friends. We just look alike. We have separate ideals.
Say that again. Say that.
So we loosely use the term friends. And that is why we get burnt. We don't expect the unexpected from them. So let me break down circle of influence so that from today you will know how to apportion people in your life and give them tasks. We have the frenemies. These are people, they are on the outer ring. I want you to have a mental picture of an orbit. We have 3 layers. The outmost layer is the one I'm discussing now. These are the frenemies. These are people that you know that they don't really like you, but they are acting like they do. There are some people, it's in their DNA to be frenemies. That is who they are, naturally. They have no use to anyone. So don't take it personal. It's not about you, it's about them. Am I teaching? It's not about you, it's about them. So if you have them in your orbit, because like I said, life is a mosaic of the good, the bad, and the ugly, you will always find these people in the society. And sometimes what you need may even be in their hands, so you can't stay away from them. So you keep them at bay. You make sure that personal information and details about your business does not go to them, because they will sabotage you for free. Oh yes, you will have good vibes. You must be, as an adult, you must learn how to be civil with everybody. Do you understand? Be civil. That doesn't mean you should be laughing with everyone, but be civil. Oh, good morning, how are you doing? How's your day going? Nice one. That's civility. That shows you are mature. So these people, you keep them orbiting because you know what frenemies do. They go to Mr. A, carry their matter, come meet you, say, see what's in this guy they do. Then if you now feel comfortable in telling them your own matter, they will carry and go Mr. B, but say, see what this person talk about you. So they are good spies. So when they come to you with information about other people's business, corporate espionage, they come with you with information about the government and everything. Oh yes, you listen to them. Tell me more, because they are talkatives. After they don't talk finish, this word, you never divulge your own information to them. Say less than necessary. The second ring layer in the orbit of contacts, of what did I call it again? Sphere of influence, are contacts. Now these guys are extremely useful. Without contact, you cannot become anything in this world. Contacts are people who have value. Contacts are people who have value, and they have good vibes and good energy towards you. They have value, they have good vibes and good energy towards you. They are your contacts. They are useful because without them, they are the people that will make referrals. They are the people that will buy your product. It's the senator that will help you. It's the president that will refer you. It's the president that will appoint you. These are contacts. They are not your friends. And this is where most of us make the mistake. We feel if somebody has good vibes towards us and we've even benefited from this association, then they are friends. So I can start telling them what is going on in my bedroom. That's one. They are your contacts. They are not your friends. So make sure that everything you discuss with contacts is value-based. Value-based interactions only. Not personal. And even if you must seek advice on a personal level, still make it value-based. Don't make it a gossip. Don't say this is what my wife is doing at home, or that useless woman. This is what my husband is doing at home. You don't need that with contacts. Sometimes your own siblings are your contacts. Even your parents can be your contacts. They are not your friends. I want you to listen to this again. People will not see that will let you know what they talk. Sometimes it's your very own that will. The Bible said, it's in the Bible that the enemies of a man are members of his house. So I don't want to talk too much about this. Don't go deep. What happened to Joseph? He went to discuss his destiny, thinking that they were his friends. And they said, oh, the crazy will die for this thing. And we won't about that. So, know your contact, identify them. These are people that have value towards you. And you have value towards as well. It's a synergy. It's mutually beneficial. And then the last ring, which is the innermost ring and the smallest one, these are your friends. These are people that you are emotionally tied to. And the goodwill, I repeat, goes both ways. And the reason being that if something bad happens to you or that person, God forbid, your life will never remain the same. So because of that, you are always happy when they grow. It gives you a sense of mental satisfaction, and dopamine gets released in your brain when you see them strike, because it's like you.
Their lifting is your lifting.
Oh yes. These are people that can call you guy, what you do, no, you the mess up. But why don't tell what they happen? You understand? These are friends. Like they literally want to see you succeed, not because what they are saying in front of you is the same as what they are saying at your back. They don't mean what, they are the same. You have one or two. Maybe. A lot of people will call friends are just contacts. In the heat of the moment, they will betray you for their own survival. They may not do it without an incentive or an inducement, but in the heat of the moment, they will sacrifice you. Like a pawn on the chessboard. You'll be like, oh, sorry, it was not one person, it's just business. But a friend would never. They will rather go down with you. And like I said, people like that, towards your life and your destiny, they may just be one or two in your entire walk of life. And if you're lucky, maybe one of them is your spouse and the other one God just gives you. It's a gift from God. So if you have a mental definition of all these people, everybody you meet, you can easily categorize when you do your life audit periodically. Because life audit is not something you do once. You do it all the time, three months. Or one, whichever duration you want to put it as, depending on your goals you're setting. So these are all the benefits and the perils of good association and the wrongful one. I'm going to pause now and ask, do you have any questions before I proceed?
Wow. My name is Opeyemi. I noticed when you were talking about the two people you employed, you spoke well about the youth. You didn't say anything about the guy.
Oh yes, because the guy also did well, but he left 3 months into the engagement for another employment, and I gave him my blessings. But the lady stuck with me. Do you understand? I gave him my blessings. So he's doing really well where he's right, and he reaches out most of the time. My boss, how far come and help me to look at this, or I assisted. Do you understand? So we have good vibes as well, but I'm more attached to the lady. Women are more loyal. When you are a man, you notice that easily. When you have a team of women, when they trust you and they believe in what you are doing, they can put themselves on the line. They don't betray you easily. A man will because he has a family to cater for. So women are extremely valuable in the workplace. So up till date. When she even shared her promotion to me, in the history of Jumia, they gave her an 100% increment in salary. I was like, she was expecting a tap on the head. I said, okay. I knew, of course, good one, champ. Like, it's not a surprise because I knew who I trained and I knew who I employed. And I said, I'm going to be picking you from Jumia very soon. She said, anywhere you're going, boss, I'm following. She's a married woman. She's not a small girl. So, women tend to be more loyal when they trust you and they believe in you as their leader. Any other question?
IT consultant, it's my investment manager. So on the issue of circle of influence, is there a possibility that one can grow from one circle based on duration of how long you people have known each other, can grow maybe from frenemies to
frenemies can never grow into other.
Or contacts to
it's possible, yes. People can grow from contacts to become friends and to become bonded beyond the obvious value they share. But like I said, it will be dangerous to assume. Do you understand? If you have not been in a precarious situation and you needed an instant bailout and that person was able to put themselves on the line for you, you can't really grade them as friends. So most of the time, like I say, try to make your spouse or your significant other your friend, because that is the only person you can tell your secrets to. A friend is an holder of secrets, because everybody must have a secret unless you are not functioning properly. It's not everything you share with people. Like I told my friend in this office, I said, what makes a business succeed is not seen.
It's not seen.
Because if that is the way, then the professors in Harvard will be billionaires. They have all the principles, but yes. So those secrets, when people say secrets, they think it's bad. No. There's some called trade secrets in the industry. Do you know that what you take in Coca-Cola up till date is not their formula is not divulged to any other person. It's franchised. Go and look on Wikipedia. The real ingredient that makes Coca-Cola is within the family. Up till date. They sell it out in concentration.
Yes.
I've consulted Coca-Cola before too. You know what I'm saying? They sell it out in concentrations. So it's a trade secret that makes them who they are. They can't just share it anyhow because there will be duplications everywhere. So your spouse or your significant other, which you are going to choose, if you have the right filter, they must be your friend. It's a must. It's a requirement. It's a prerequisite. That they won't use it against you and they won't tell it out. Don't seek to ever find any other friendship in other people. And I know why people seek friendship, because human beings are social creatures. We want to be accepted, we want to be loved, we want to feel like we are involved. But then and again, you have to grow up. Life is not about feelings, life is not fair, life is a cold bitch. I'm sorry to use all these terms, but I'm being real here. So the best person you can pick, even if it's your boyfriend or you must pick somebody that has your best interest at heart. That's who a friend is. Because you people are intertwined. Your success is their success. Your downfall is their downfall. So they will never do anything. Because if it affects you, it affects them. But like I said, a contact who has the best of intentions towards you, but is not emotionally linked, if push comes to shove, they will betray you on the spot. And they will tell you that, guy, I don't want to do this, but I have to put myself first. They will sacrifice. Some people, if you play chess, sometimes you have to sacrifice your queen. But the king can never be sacrificed, because that's the end of the game. So you must, and the relationship between the queen and the king is bonded. She protects the king. So that's friend you are looking at. Yes, a contact could grow into even being a spouse.
True.
Will you pick an enemy? You have to know that person first now. So most of the time, they grow from being contacts into being a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or a spouse. But then and again, I think your number one friend should be your spouse. And if you ask yourself today, is my father, my brother? If it's not your friend, please, you need to go and do a SWOT analysis in the house. And say, madam, sit down, take this pen and paper, start writing. If I do this, what will you do? Like 50 cents, 21 questions. If I'm flipping burgers, will you still love me? You know, it's a joke, but life is not a joke. You must have somebody you can lean on.
True.
And that person is your friend, and most of the time it has to be. Like I said, if people are lucky, maybe they have to. Maybe a spouse and a sibling, or a parent, or maybe a spouse and somebody that you don't even know, but God has just appointed them for your destiny. Other questions? Okay, so moving away from that, make sure that we are in point what now? We talked about the mind, we talked about the association, right?
Yeah, association, circle of influence.
Okay. Then please and please, this also a bit goes back to the mental in a way. Make sure you don't destroy what gives you an advantage. Please. If I was his elder brother, I could just give him a chair now, give him some fireballs and everything and say, if you want to see your future, pay me $2 per person. I will make money off the guy's head. But they would rather destroy what gives them an advantage. And what did the Pharaoh, who was a wise king, he employed him. Said that there's no way this talent can leave my kingdom.
Even though he was a rapist and
Even though he was an alleged rapist.
sentenced for rapist.
It wasn't his own religion. They don't speak the same language. Joseph was even more handsome than him because Joseph and Absalom in the Bible were the most handsome guys.
Yeah.
He felt like, let me bring this guy closer. I may not like him, but hey, this guy is a huge contact for me. And it's in the Bible that Joseph brought all the riches in the world. Pharaoh was the richest king of his time. The second richest king is Solomon, which was richer than Pharaoh, but that Pharaoh was the richest king of his own time. In the time of famine, go and read your Bible. There are business lessons in the Bible. They said Joseph brought all the riches in the land of Egypt and in the world into Pharaoh's house.
Yes.
By administration.
He brought all the money, all the assets. They became an empire under one man. You know why? Because Pharaoh will not kill what will give him an advantage. He was a wise man. What does a wise man do? They play the long game. Am I teaching?
Yes.
Yes.
So please, sometimes what will give you an advantage you may not even really like. It may be a contact. It may be even your boss. This girl I'm talking all well about, it's not as if all the time we were always friends. No, I'm a very stern and a strict boss. I give you guidelines, you must work within that guideline. There was a time she told me that she wants to go. If I tell you this now, you people will be like, ah, what kind of man is this? They are doing her father's remembrance that she wants to go. I said, okay, I will give you 3 days off. She went, when she came back, I said, you see those 3 days, you will work every Sunday for the next. She was like, I said, yes, that is what will happen. And she did. On the 3rd Sunday, Mazen, one of the guys that run the supermarket, their shareholders, H-Medics is a company. The man has 9 and shouldn't be giving you all this. But those 2 Lebanese guys also have a stake. So one of them came, he's a big man. Went to the girl, talked to her and said, why are you working on Sunday? Should be your boss is not your can do my. The girl came to tell me, I marched into Mazin's office. I lashed him and his elder brother Mohammed. I said, we can stop this association here. You don't interfere with my business. I don't know how much I pay you every month. And that was the day they didn't cross their line. Like I said, I could be a stern person when you work with me. Forget all this one, we are having good vibes here. I don't play with my business, I don't play with my money. But the girl, I knew there was a project, I will show you our chat. She told me, she said, I'm here where I am today because of you. So like I said, it's not a small girl. She's a married woman with a child. So it's not as if we're always playing. No. But my own is never lose focus. We could have good vibes as much as we want. But don't lose focus on what we are doing. So, like I was now saying, don't destroy what gives you an advantage. This girl could still be a door opener for me. Do you understand? There's a way value comes and is recycled back to you. What goes around comes around. And that's why you don't look down on anybody. The gate man you are seeing today could be somebody that will link you up to your destiny helper. Give value. Let your watchword be value. Approach every table with value. So don't destroy. Like Joseph's brothers wanted to kill the hope of the world. Because if Joseph did not interpret that dream, what do you think would have happened to the world? Any smart person here? If Joseph did not interpret the dream and they saved beforehand, what do you think would have happened to the whole world? They would have died. Death. Because there was no food. They said people were selling their lands for a piece of bread. Joseph was a huge capitalist. He said, you want bread, Abi? Give me your land. Value of land and bread, which one passed? But Joseph was a stern man. Oh, I'm not doing Christianity here. If you want to do business, bring your land and I'll give you bread, chop. Then they had nothing again. He now said, okay, sell your slaves to save slavery for me. He bought them over as slaves and he now put them to work on their own land. That's the height of capitalism. That's the gift that guy had. So Pharaoh employed that guy and he gave him an edge over all kings. He made Pharaoh on the earth, king of all kings on the earth. He was second to just God in his time. And he was rich because of one man. One man can change the whole nation. One man can change the world. Am I teaching you?
One rapist.
One alleged rapist. That's why it's not good to just easily believe what you listen to and hear on media.
Okay, let me just, one of my elderly friends, I have these elderly people I go with gifts to. He said something to me yesterday. He said, one of the ways you will know that you will be transgenerational when it comes to blessing is when you're able to love people who normally they are not supposed to be loved. Then make example rapists, terrorists, people drug addicts, people that normally nobody wants to love them. So if you have the ability to relate to such people, then your blessings will be transgenerational.
That's another deep thought. And it could be taken to different kinds of levels to extrapolate that from. I like that. Like I was telling the vice president's sister, I told her that, see, if your brother will become the president, all these rapists, all these serial killers, all these kidnappers and all that, one thing you should know is that they will never leave the land. The best you can do is to reduce their activities by making an example out of them. When you are a president, you are the president of the good, the bad, and the ugly. You are their oga. In Yoruba, when you are oba, or koshu, or koajeni, you are the king of witches and wizards. They have a right to come to you. You are their king. So you must know how to use them. Am I teaching?
Yes. You
must play the long game. You must say, okay, you like to kill. I mean, like I was watching an interview on Navy SEALs. These are natural born killers. These rigorous activities they carry out, an ordinary man cannot. And an ordinary man is not an ordinary soldier. $4 million is spent to train just one Marine.
Yeah.
Now, Navy SEALs are even higher than them. These guys have this different genetic makeup. So, USA identifies them and says, oh, you like to kill, again, we'll give you people to kill. Instead of you to become a menace. Do you understand? We will give you a direction. Even though you are a sociopath.
Sure.
We will give you a course.
Since you can beat your wife, go and fight Mike Tyson.
Thank you very much. And go to UFC or fight Kamaru Usman or Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, I don't know if anybody watches UFC here, is the most terrorized, as in, is the most feared man in the world right now. You know why? Because one of his punch is equivalent to a car moving at 120 kilometers per hour. One punch. So if that one lands on, you know you are dead or you are gone. Go and watch his knockouts. People, professional fighters go to sleep. So imagine that kind of man not given a mission. The devil will engage him. The devil will engage him. The devil has engaged most of these bandits because they have no direction. There is scalar quantity. Anybody that has done physics here understands. It has magnitude but no direction. So much to say here. Do you understand? There's just so much. And like I said, these are practical life lessons that whichever field you find yourself, this is not motivation.
Yes.
These are core skills you can even grade yourself by. Oh, am I practicing this? Like in 48 laws of power, obedience of this law and transgression, you will see the results. So which one am I doing now? Do you know that there's a way you can be so good, you will use your boss as a vehicle of purpose?
Sure.
When I was in Jumia, whatever meeting my boss wanted to go to, whenever she comes to Abuja, well, please, you have to be here. I need a man in that room. And that's how I was even making contacts. Dress for a package, so that I wear a bad enter. You say, then I policy, I said, oh, we are trying, my brother. So, that is how I also made contact. I used her to get what I wanted because I was trustworthy and she could rely on me. So be reliable, be valuable, be the most valuable person in your team as much as you can. So that when your boss is going, the first person will be like, call me that guy. Or I can't go there, but I will send somebody that I know is capable of representing me. And that is how you start chatting your own way. If your dad is not Dangote or $10, your duty in this world, what you are going to become is in your 2 hands.
And that of your children.
And that of your generation. It's like this. And your education will not give you that result. What will give you that result is your mind. Like I said, even this chair I'm sitting down was once in somebody's mind. It wasn't existing, somebody created it.
When you look at a tree, I've got a chair.
Thank you very much. So what you are going to become, your destiny is literally in your hands. And the valuable skills you have to apply is number one. Who am I and what value do I bring? and you cannot even identify your value, then seek out a guide, a life coach or a mentor, have conversations. Be willing to invest in discovering who you are. Like I told one of my people that consulted me, I said, until the right questions are asked, the right answers cannot be gotten. If you keep asking the wrong questions, how will you get the right answer? That's a paradox, you can't get it. It's a loop of nothingness. Until the right questions are asked, you can't get the right answer. And that is what is plaguing Nigeria. We keep asking the wrong questions to problems and we keep getting the wrong answers.